there! I'm doing a video on a Monday this week instead of a Tuesday because I'm crazy and wild and unpredictable. No, it's totally just because I don't want to do homework. Ugh, social science studies don't interest me at all. So, being the total badass I am, I went to a concert last night, a Sunday night. And again, being a badass and not a loser at all, it was a concert for Harry and the Potters. Harry and the Potters is a wizard rock band. The first wizard rock band, actually. They started the whole genre, which is, taken off. And if you don't know much about wizard rock, just kind of Google it and look around, and you'll soon realize how many wizard rock bands there are, and it kind of blows your mind a little. The first time I did it, MySpace was still a thing, so I just kept going on all their, friends pages, which was just more and more bands, and my mind was blown. I discovered Harry and the Potters in 7th grade. My friend burnt me their CD, and they're not the best singers in the world. I'm not going to say their music is oh my god, this is deep art, but it's hilarious, and it's really catchy, and I love them. So yeah, that was back in 7th grade, and I'm a freshman now. That was 7 years ago. But since then, well, I've bought a few more songs, and I've, showed the band to my friends. I haven't really been to any shows or anything. I mean, I'm not, obsessed. I'm a fan. And they came to school. They came to University of Chicago, and the tickets were only $5, and so I went. There was about 50 people there, maybe that. It was not a big crowd. Honestly, probably because it was a Sunday, not even because they're a nerdy band, but probably just because it was a Sunday, and everyone has so much homework. But we were all, when it started, all the people there were really awkward because there weren't that many people, and because we're Chicago kids, so we're awkward. We were all sort of hugging the walls, and then they came in and they got us up front, and by the time the concert was over, everyone was dancing, having a great time, and honestly, it's just because they had really great stage presence, and they really just got everyone super into it. I mean, they might sing from the perspective of Harry Potter, but they're still a rock and roll band. They, were jamming on the instruments, and the guy had the guitar behind his head at one point, and the keyboard dude was, kicking out his legs, and they kept coming into the audience to, play next to people, and during one of the songs, it's the song about Ron in the brain room, in the 5th book, where he's not supposed to touch the brains, and then he touches the brains, and they all, attack him. So it's, the lyrics are literally just Ron, wanna touch them brains? But they, went into the audience, and they, kept going, they did, noogies on everyone's heads. During this one song, Spew, what I heard on the CD, I mean, it's fun, but it's the lyric is literally da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, spew, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, spew. It's the word spew in a lot of different ways. But it's fun live, because what they do is they pass around the microphone to random people in the audience, and so that was really, really cool. So I got pictures with both of them, and we left, and we had a great time. But after the show, I started, to listen to the CD that I have of theirs, and it started to make me really sad. And it's because the Harry Potter fandom will never truly die, but I mean, when I was in 7th grade, MuggleNet was the biggest thing ever, and there was a ton going on. There was MuggleCast, they just come out with a book. The people from MuggleNet had. There was, LeahyCon was a new thing. It was all huge, and the Wizard Rock bands were going full swing. And I mean, now the books are done, the movies are done. The stuff still exists, but it's not a huge thing anymore. It's impressive that they still tour, but I mean, I'm sure it's not going to be long before they totally stop with that. And LeahyCon, I think, will continue because it's once a year, but people are moving on. And I get that, and it'd be weird if they weren't, but it's sad. Because when I one day have kids and I'm trying to explain to them the awesome that is Harry Potter, I can show them the books and the movies and make them listen to Harry and the Potters and show them a Harry Potter musical. I can do all that. That's true. But I don't think, unless you live it, you can't understand just what a cool thing it was that a book turned into an entire community. I mean, in the Harry Potter books, the Wizarding World, it's not a separate world. It's part of our world. It's just a weird part of our world that most people don't know about. And the Harry Potter community sort of made the Wizarding World a real thing. They've got their own little underground world with music and, their own documentaries and their own fan fiction, so their own books, and websites and people and conventions and charities, etc. And it's there if you look for it, but if you don't go looking, you wouldn't know. I just realized you can see my Harry and the Potter stuff. This says Harry and the Potters, a Chicago Quidditch event, and this is Harry and the Potters, and it's one of their lovely little stickers that they were giving out. In response to your video Saturday, where you talked about feminism and how someone was saying New Girl is anti-feminist, Oh, that bugs me too. Here's the thing. If you look at the history of feminism, it's actually very similar to the history of the civil rights movement. Basically, feminism started off with women wanting to be equal to men. And sort of the civil rights movement, just equality all around. And then that was sort of achieved. I mean, obviously women still receive less money, just like with the civil rights movement, there's still worse socioeconomic statuses of African Americans. But, I mean, equality was mostly achieved considering what it used to be. But what happened with feminism and sort of with the civil rights movement is it moved from that to, we don't just want to be equal with women. We don't just want to be equal to men. I mean, we are equal, but we're not just equal, we're better than them. We also want to celebrate the good parts of being a woman. Fine. But the problem was when that then transformed sort of into, well, yeah, it's great to be a woman. God, and it sucks to be a man. It's like, men suck, down with men. And that was the problem. Because it annoys me because people think of a feminist and that's what they think of. They think of some men-hating, crazy woman who refuses to ever wear a skirt and just talks about how the entire world is controlled by men, how she hates them all, and she wants it to be just women and they can artificial insemination and all that. I mean, literally, that's what people seem to think a feminist is. Whereas I'm a feminist. As you can see, I'm wearing a really girly scarf, a really girly shirt, earrings. I think I've got a Disney princess Valentine, but I'm still a feminist. I still want women to have equal rights. I still celebrate the great parts about being female, but that doesn't mean I have anything against dudes. I can be feminine. I can still be a feminist. Plus, whoever wrote that article is completely ignoring the fact that on the show fairly recently, one of the dudes got a girlfriend, I forget her name, and she was super badass and a lawyer and super tough, and she was also a girl and an awesome character. So, this person just doesn't know what they're talking about. But yeah, you can be a feminist and you can be girly. They are not mutually exclusive things. Speaking of being girly, you're prom dress shopping right now, so have fun with that. Aren't you glad that last night when you said, Caety, I need help with prom dress shopping, I went, okay, let me show you a lot of ugly dresses and tell you why I don't like them. I'm gonna go now. I can't put this homework off any longer. Social science. The FTBA.